Welcome to Boring Money, Rich Life. I'm your host, Joy Hicks, and Friday recently passed, so that means you either just got paid or you're getting ready to get paid. So, we're going to talk about your money needs a job. So, I've shared with you guys that I am personally learning all of these things. So, I am on my own wealth journey, and one of my favorite YouTubers to watch and just kind of learn from, his name is Jaspreet Singh. And so he kind of has like a formula of how you can break down your money so that way you can always be putting your money to work. Because I think the biggest reason why a lot of people aren't building wealth is because they might have a very good job, but they don't know how to allocate their money. And so what ends up happening is all your money ends up getting spent. Now, your bills are getting paid, but you're also spending everything else and kind of living paycheck to paycheck. So I really like his formula, and it is the 75 15 10 formula. And I'm going to break it down because I feel like it's really helping me learn how to like budget because for whatever reason, I just personally don't like the word budget. Like it feels so restrictive because I'm like, this is my money. I should be able to spend it the way that I'm wanting to spend it. But now, again, since I'm on this wealth journey, there's a lot of things that I want to do as far as investing. Like I want to get into real estate and buy mobile homes and all these different things. I want to buy more stocks. And so now that I actually have like goals for my money, those things that I used to spend money on, like, a $90 brunch, it's not as important because now I'm learning how to allocate my money. So, with the 75 15 10 kind of like money formula, it pretty much means that for every dollar that you earn, you're only going to spend 75 cents, and then you're going to invest 15 cents and save 10 cents. Now, me personally, I do include bills into that 75 spending group because a lot of times when we hear spending, again, we think, okay, this is just what I can buy. So, like, I can go on a trip really quick. It's summertime. I want to shop. I want to get some bathing suits, all these different things, right? But me personally, I do include my bills into that as well. And that can be hard, right? So, if you actually sit down and look at how much you make, and then you kind of look at everything that's going out the door, if you kind of feel this like inner tension when you think about actually saying, I'm only going to spend 75% of what I bring in, it's probably because you're spending too much. So, this is when people start to learn, or you might have heard the term like people are house poor, or people are buying cars that they can't afford. If you're looking at what's actually going out the door and it's like, hey, I can't really say that I'm only going to spend 75% of what I earn because I pay more than that in rent, or I pay more than that on my car note, or I pay more than that on a mortgage. That's the time to kind of see like what it is that you're actually overspending in. And mind you, that is kind of like a goal. Like me personally, I had to kind of be honest with myself because I'm like, okay, again, I'm still learning. So I need to kind of like grow into that a little bit. And then, of course, I would like to kind of get that spending down even further because I do want to build up that investing bucket a lot more. Now, that could also mean that you bring in other income. If it is kind of really tight for you, definitely look at ways to kind of earn more money. But like me personally, I did have to be honest with myself and say, okay, I have to kind of readjust these numbers a little bit to make it work for myself. So I am starting with 85% spending, 10% investing, and then 5% savings because I definitely still want to save money. It's very important to still have like an emergency fund, especially with everything that's happening right now in the world. I have definitely shared that we're not technically in a recession, but all signs are kind of pointing to a lot of job loss and a lot of inflation. We have already seen inflation kind of be very, very high. We've already seen a lot of people getting laid off. So saving is definitely still important. But if you do have steady income, I think it's good to still be investing. Now, I can't tell you what to invest in because I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what I'm doing personally, and so far it's working. Again, only spending 85% of what I make, investing 10%, and then saving 5%. Now, that does mean that I definitely need to cut back on some expenses. Like, I need to kind of see either how I can bring in more income or I either need to cut back. But like I said, I'm personally learning, so this is something that I'm going to grow into. But I actually got so excited because over the weekend, I logged into my investing account and I'm actually starting to see that number grow. And mind you, I'm only adding to it as I get paid. So it's not like every single day I'm adding money into my investing account and buying new shares. It's just actually seeing what I have invested so far, it's growing. So that's why it's very important to give your money a job because it's going to be very hard, right, to kind of like replicate yourself because we only have so many hours in a day. We are human. We need to sleep. We need to eat. We need to decompress. So it's going to be hard to get yourself to do all the things all the time. That's why learning to invest is very important because you're going to be making money in your sleep. Now, investing is a risk. So, of course, you're going to lose money at times. You're going to make bad investments at times. You're going to make mistakes. But as you do it and you kind of exercise that muscle, you're learning how to analyze different opportunities. You're learning, how to look for different opportunities. And so, as you're doing that, and then you start to make better decisions investing wise, then you start to earn money in your sleep. And that's what it means to give your money a job, is when you are just putting your money somewhere in a place that's going to grow your money and it's growing passively while you're not working for it. Because earned income is the hardest income because it requires you as a resource. So it requires your time, it requires your mental space, your effort, all of these things. But again, you're only one person. So that's why it's very important to start giving your money a job. And when you are saving your money, I did talk about high yield savings accounts as well. So you can kind of win on both ends, looking for those good investing opportunities and then also putting your money in a high yield savings account. That way, you're also getting earnings on your savings as well. So, again, giving your money a job that allows you to make money in your sleep. And that's how people start building passive income. Now, mind you, you'll still need the earned income to kind of fuel your investments and things like that. But as that money starts to grow, you'll probably be more enticed to do it. Because, like I said, now that I'm actually starting to see some of those things pay off, and I'm like, oh, okay, this was higher than when I checked it last time, it'll be worth it for sure. So, as always, what is one boring thing that you can do today to start fueling your rich life? Again, I'm Joy Hicks, your host. Thank you for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe.